This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. When it comes, the heavens will appear with a horrific noise, and the celestial bodies will melt away in a blaze, and the earth and every deed done on it will be laid bare. I like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Okay, so here we go. The day of the Lord was going to come like a thief. And when it comes, it's going to do mass death and destruction, okay? So you have to, while you have a chance, you have to call on Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, while there's still a window of opportunity. Let's get it. The book of Psalms. Give me a second. The book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 6. And this is read from the NET version of the scriptures. For this reason, every one of your faithful followers should pray to you while there is a window of opportunity. Certainly, when the surging waters rise, it will not reach them. Okay, so we doing this. You gotta have the window of opportunity. Okay, while there's still a chance. Okay, because when that day comes, it's gonna be bring utterly destruction. Okay, the book of the book of Isaiah 2, verse 9. Men bow to them in homage. They lay flat on the ground to worship. Don't spare them. Go up into the rocky cliffs. Hide in the ground. Get out of the way from the dreadful judgment of Yahweh, from his royal splendor. Proud men will be brought low. Arrogant men will be humiliated. Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day, okay? So it's only going to be Yahweh. It's only going to be Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. It's going to be exalted in that day, okay? That's it. It's only going to be Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Verse 12. Indeed, Yahweh of heavenly armies has planned a day of judgment for all the high and mighty. For all who are proud, they will be humiliated. For all the cedars of Lebanon that are so high and mighty, for all the oaks of Bashan, for all the tall mountains, for all the high hills, every high tower, every fortified wall, for all the large ships, for all the impressive ships. Proud men will be humiliated, arrogant men will be brought low. Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day. the worship, the worthlessness of idols will be completely eliminated. They will go into their caves, into the rocky cliffs, into the holes in the ground, trying to escape the dreadful judgment of Yahweh and his royal splendor when he arises up to shake the earth. So, so when this thing goes down, the whole earth is going to shake, okay? The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 27. Zion will be freed by justice and her returnees by righteousness. All rebellious sinners will be shattered. Those who abandon Yahweh will perish. So that's what this is about. All who abandon Yahweh is going to perish. Turn to the book of Second Ezra. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thou mouth, say Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. For fear not the imagination against thee, nor let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, say Yahweh, I will bring plague upon the world, the sword, the famine, the death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So that's what this is about. That's what this is all about, okay? The book of Isaiah, chapter 34. I believe it's chapter 34. Let's check and see. But before we go to Isaiah chapter 34, let's come over here to the book of Isaiah chapter 24, verse 1. Look, Yahweh is ready to devastate the earth and leave it in ruins. He will mar the surface and shatter its inhabitants, for everyone will suffer, the priest as well as the people, the master as well as the servant, the elegant lady as well as the female attendant, the seller as well as the buyer, the borrower as well as the lender, the creditor as well as the debtor. The earth will be completely devastated, the thoroughly ramshacked, for Yahweh has decreed this judgment. The earth is dried up and withers. The world shrivels up and withers. The prominent people of the earth fade away. The earth is defiled by its inhabitants, for they have violated the laws, disregarded regulations, and broken the permanent treaty. So a treaty curse devours the earth, and its inhabitants pay for their guilt. This is why the inhabitants of the earth disappears and are reduced to just a handful of people. So this thing is going down, okay? And you don't want to be caught with, like we discussed it before, you don't want to be caught without a wedding garment, okay? When this thing goes down. The book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 20. Go, my people, enter in your inner rooms, close the doors behind you, hide for a little while until the angry judgment is over. Look, Yahweh is coming out of the place where he lives to punish the sin of those who live on the earth. The earth will display the bloodshed on it. It will no longer cover up its slain. The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, you nations, and listen. Pay attention, you people. The earth is and everything contained must listen. The world and everything that lives in it. For Yahweh is angry at all the nations, and his fury with all their armies. He will annihilate them and slaughter them. Their slain will be left unburied. Their corpses will stink. The hills will soak up their blood. All the stars in the sky fade away. The sky rolls up like a scroll. Stars will wither like a leaf withers and fall from a vine, or a fig withers and falls from a tree. He says, indeed, my sword slaughters heavenly powers. Look, it now descends on Edom. On the people I will annihilate in judgment. Yahweh's sword is dipped with blood. It is covered with fat and drips with the blood of young rams and goats, and it is covered with the fatness of rams and kidneys. For Yahweh is holding a sacrifice in Basra, a bloody slaughter in the land of Edom. Verse 8. For Yahweh has planned a day of revenge, a time when he will repay Edom for her hostility towards Zion. Okay, so this thing is going down, okay? This thing is going down, and you don't want to be caught without a garment, okay? That's what this is about. That's what this thing's all about, and you don't want to be caught without a garment. Verse 9, Edom's streams will be turned into pitch, and her soil into brimstone. Her land will become burning pitch. Night and day it will burn. Its smoke will ascend continuously, generation after generation. It will be a wasteland, and no one will ever pass through it again. Owls and wild animals will live there. All kinds of wild birds will settle. Yahweh will stretch out over her the measuring line of ruin and the plummet line of destruction. Her nobles will have nothing left to call a kingdom, and all her officials will disappear. So this thing is definitely going down, and you don't want to be caught once again without your wedding garment. This is Isaiah 35 verse 4. Tell those who panic to be strong, do not fear. Look, your power comes to avenge you with divine retribution. He comes to deliver you. Turn to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 18. At that time, the nation of Judah and the nation of Israel will be united together. They will come back from a land in the north to the land that gave to your ancestors as a permanent possession. The book of, one moment here. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 6. Raise a signal flag that tells people to go to Zion. Run for safely. Do not delay. For I am about to bring disaster out of the north. I will bring great destruction. Like a lion that has come up out of his lair, the one who destroys the nations is set out from his home base. He is coming to lay your land waste. Your cities will become a ruin and will lie uninhabitable. Put on sackcloth, mourn and wail, say the fierceness of anger of Yahweh has not turned away from us. When this happens, says Yahweh, the king and his officials will lose courage. The princes will be struck with horror, and the prophets will be speechless in astonishment. Verse 10. In response to all this, I said, Ah, sovereign Yahweh, you have surely allowed the people of Judah and Jerusalem to be deceived by those who said, You will be safe, but in fact, a sword is already at our throats. Okay, so this thing is definitely going down. Verse 13, the book of Jeremiah 4, verse 13. Look, the enemy is approaching like gathered clouds. He roars up his chariots like a whirlwind. His horses move more swifter than eagles. I cry out, we are doomed. We will be destroyed. Turn to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel. We go with Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. Yahweh said to him, go throughout the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of the people who moan and groan over all the abominations practiced in it. While I listened, he said to the others, go throughout the city after him and strike people down. Don't not let your eyes pity nor spare anyone. Old men, young women, little children, and women wipe them out. But do not touch anyone who has a mark. Begin at my sanctuary. So then they began with the elders who were at the front of the temple. Okay, so judgment starts with us. Judgment it starts with us. Okay, come over here to okay, one moment. The book of Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 2. man prophesy and say, this is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Well, at last, that day is here, for the day is near. The day of Yahweh is near. It will be a day of storm clouds. It will be a time of judgment for the nations. The book of Ezekiel, and I'll leave you with this. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 32, verse 7. When I extinguish you, I will cover the stars. I will darken its stars. I will cover the sky. I will darken its stars. I will cover up the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not shine. I will darken all the lights in the sky over you, and I will darken your land, declares the sovereign Yahweh. I will disturb many peoples when I bring about your destruction among the nations, among the countries you do not know. I will shock many people with you, and their kings will shiver with horror because of you. When I brandish my sword before them, every moment each one will tremble for his life on the day of your fall. Okay, I'll get you my closeout scripture here. As for your Jeremiah 15, verse 16, as your words came to me, I drank them in, and they filled my heart with joy and happiness, because I belong to you, O Yahweh, power of heavenly armies. I did not spend my time in the company of other people, laughing and having a good time. I stayed to myself because I felt obligated to you, and because I was filled with anger at what they have done. Why must I continue to suffer such painful anguish? Why must I endure the stings of their insults like an incurable wound? Will you let me down when I need you like a brook one goes for water but cannot be relied on? Because of this, Yahweh said, you must repent of such words and thoughts. If you do, I will restore you to the privilege of serving me. If you say what is worthwhile instead of what is worthless, I will again allow you to be my spokesman. They must become as you have been. You must not become like them. I will make you as strong as a wall to these people, a fortified wall of bronze. They will attack you, but they will not be able to overcome you. For I will be with you to rescue you and deliver you, says Yahweh. I will deliver you from the power of the wicked. I will free you from the clutches of people. Hopefully you was well edified. I like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.